What is up guys, Andy Forest Team Runner here, back with another video for you today, and I want to welcome you back today to the Marathon Training Focus series. Today we're going to be talking a little bit about Fartlek Sessions, and obviously the aim of this series is to be kind of giving you a little bit more information into my training, what I'm going to be doing on a week by week basis, picking a specific session that I've got in the plan, talking a little bit more about it, and of course providing you with some footage from the workout itself. This week signifies I'm in week 4 now of the training plan, and this week obviously we are building back up the mileage. So we had the first couple of weeks which were high mileage weeks or higher mileage weeks. Last week was an easier week, hence last week's easy run video. This week we are now working on building that mileage back up, and one of those sessions that we did, as I've just alluded to, was a Fartlek session. This week we did 2 minutes on and 1 minute off. If you guys remember, I think it was before Christmas, and I think I did one in the first week of my training actually. I kept Fartlek sessions quite easy because I have a few of them in my training session coming up, and Doug is kind of being quite free-reined on them by saying, hey look, go out and do 1 to 2 minute sort of interval surges, faster than 5k pace, with as much rest and recovery as you need. So in the beginning I obviously did it the other way around. I did 1 minute on and 2 minute off, just a really chilled out easy session, and I did 10 of those, so it was effectively 10 minutes worth of work. But as we're now into week 4 of the plan, I flipped that around, so we're now starting to work a little bit harder, and we did 2 minutes on and 1 minute off. So without further ado, what I'm going to do now is cut to last night's session. I'm going to give you a little bit of a warning. It was blooming cold, I was struggling to talk, I'm not going to lie, and I wasn't feeling the best. This cold that I had last week has come back a little bit this week, and I haven't quite shifted it, so be prepared, there's a bit of moaning. Anyway, over to last night. Okay, good evening guys. It is Tuesday evening, we are out on the industrial estate of Dreams. It is -2 already. It is icy, it is cold, I don't want to hang around. I don't feel particularly well either. Last week obviously we had the sinus issue leading up to the race, that's been and done. And this week, after the race, sort of yesterday evening into today, started to feel like I had a proper cold, as in a throat and a nose. I really hope it doesn't settle in. So we're just going to see how we do tonight, and as I just explained, the agenda is Fartleks. In the beginning of the plan, and even previous before Christmas, I had in my plan to do Fartleks to whatever I wanted to do and however much rest I wanted to do. So I don't know if you guys remember, but I was doing 1 minute on and 2 minute off, literally double recovery, and just chilling out with it. It's 10 minutes worth of work. Well, we're flipping that round tonight. We're doing 2 minutes on, 1 minute off, and we're going to see how that goes. Obviously the goal is Doug wants me to do faster than 5k race pace, so really hit the top end zones. So it's going to be 20 minutes worth of work. We'll see how we go. Hopefully we'll get it all done, and then as the plan progresses and we get more Fartleks, we'll increase that to maybe 3 minutes on, 2 minutes off, and get more marathon specific. But for right now, that's going to be the plan for tonight. I will check in with you about halfway and at the end, and then put the results on screen as to how we did. So without any more hanging around, I'm getting cold, let's go. Okay, I haven't got long, halfway, struggling, this is hard. Here goes Lee. Like a rocket. Go guys, all 3 of us are done. Lee was out tonight, I can't even see where the camera's pointing. Lee and James, we all had our own things, but we've braved the cold, we are done. So I'll head back to the office now, put the results on screen of how it went. Nice one. Nice one.
Nice one, brother!
Nice one, brother! So there we go guys, had a great night last night with James and Lee. We all did our own thing as you saw, and yeah, as I said, apologies for the bit of the moaning. I'm feeling a lot better today, just for clarification purposes, but we got it done last night. We got 10 done. I honestly didn't think I was going to do it in the beginning, but we got into it and we did really well. So those results are on screen. We kind of hit around, maybe just a bit slower than, it was kind of between 5 and 10k pace. We started off with the right intentions, a bit quicker, and then faded a bit, but that's fine, you know. I wasn't feeling 100%, and I'll take that. It was nice and quick, and it was getting used to the shorter recovery period. So what I want to talk about now a little bit is why I love Fartleks in particular, because I think they're such a useful tool to have in your armour when you are marathon training, and these are some of the things that I found beneficial with them. So without further ado, let's jump into it. Okay guys, so the first thing that I really find useful about Fartleks is, for me, they're the first workout I turn to either in not an off season, but when I'm not in a training block and I want to get back into things. They're the first type of workout I turn to, because they're such a flexible workout you can do. Effectively, Fartlek, for those of you who don't know, means speed play in Swedish. It's a funny old word, I know, but it means speed play, and basically you can do what you want with it. It's unstructured in terms of a fartlek session can be what you want it to be. So you could do 30 seconds on, 1 minute off, 1 minute on, 2 minutes off, 1 minute on, 1 minute off, 1 minute on, 30 seconds off, 2 minutes, yeah, you get the gist. You can play around with the high intensity and low intensity and mix and match to what you want. So if you want a long recovery period, but you want to go all out, and maybe you want to do what I was doing a few weeks back, which was 1 minute on and 2 minutes off. But then when you get more down the line of marathon training, you might then want to increase that to maybe 3 minutes on, 2 minutes off. So you're dialing in that more speed endurance endurance work rather than the top end speed endurance work, and then having a shorter recovery and going again so that your heart rate doesn't drop too low and you're keeping that higher intensity up for longer. There's so many things that you can do and play around with fartleks, and I think that's why I love it, because it's such a flexible session. So whenever I think, right, I've run a marathon or half marathon, I've had a few days off, want to come back into it, do a week's easy running, and they go, right, I need to do a session, I need to get some speed back in the legs, I want to feel good, I will more than often just go out and do some kind of fartlek session. And it might just be 1 minute on, 1 minute off, and I might just have these surges, pick a trail and just do them over a trail. And I think what the beauty of fartlek sessions is they're just so great in terms of, as I said, the flexibility. It just works so well in any type of plan, and you can literally chuck them in the beginning and the end, all you have to do is adjust the length of the interval. So for me, that is number one. Okay guys, the second thing that I absolutely love about doing fartlek sessions is that they're so flexible in terms of where I can do them. I love doing them on trails, undulating trails. If you think about it, we do a lot of sessions, interval sessions on tracks and on roads, flat roads, because we want to get that consistency in our repetitions. So whether you're doing 6 by 400 meters or 12 by 400 meters or 800 meters, whatever it is, or mile repeats, we tend to pick the flat section so that we can get some kind of gauge as to where we are speed-wise and continually put the same effort in and see if we can hold pace. And that's the idea of them, whereas fartlek sessions, blimey, I love just hitting an undulating trail and going out doing 2 minutes on, 2 minutes off, because effectively it's like just going into cruise control, and your watch will beep and you go, right, 2 minutes, up a hill and then down a hill. So there's a lot of flexibility in terms of you're not looking for the consistency so much, but maybe more so the effort. So if you're doing heart rate stuff like I am, you're looking to just kind of work the heart rate at the same effort, whether that's downhill or uphill or whatever. There's no pressure of having to hit even splits, or I find that anyway, and that's what I really enjoy, because I find nothing more beneficial when I'm training or trying to tune up for a race than hitting an undulating trail and doing some surges on there in a fartlek style. My favourite, I've got to be honest, is like 2 minutes on, 2 minutes off, and I normally tend to come back with 8 of those, so off the back of a training block, coming back into it, easy mileage, just going out, finding a nice undulating trail and just hitting it, start the watch, go. And it's just, you can kind of get into a groove. It makes doing repetitions and intervals not boring, because you're not just going up and down or around and around. You're just going along a trail. And for me personally, that is such a game changer in terms of the mentality. Going around and around and around, you just think, oh my goodness, I've got to go up and down here 1 more time, 2 more times. Fartlek session, you go, right, so approximately this is going to be about 3 or 4 miles, just to find a track and just go from one end to the other, and it makes such a difference. So from my perspective, guys, that is my favourite thing. And the third and final reason why I really enjoy doing fartlek sessions is actually what I find is you can make it mimic race situations. So another word that people call fartleks is surges. You surge, and there's a lot of surges and tactical stuff in races. I never used to do this ever, but over the last year or so I've started to kind of pick up and watch. Now I'm moving up the field in terms of racing. I'm able to watch in front of me people surging and running in packs and things, and it is actually a very tactical thing. And although I'm nowhere near where I would like to be and seeing all those guys in front of me, I have been in packs before where we've been in like groups of 5 or 6, and then someone's just put the hammer down, and then it's like, right, okay, do I follow? Do I not? And a fartlek session can mimic that effectively. What you're doing is, if you pick, for example, my 8 by 2 minutes on, 2 minutes off session, you're mimicking that. You're going, okay, I'm going to surge for 2 minutes and then back off for 2 minutes. And another great reason for this is if you do it in a long run, especially in a marathon sort of training plan like I will be, and you did, for example, a 15-16 mile long run, you did 10 miles easy, and then you did 2 minutes on, 2 minutes off, or 3 minutes on, 2 minutes off times 4 or times 6 at the end, so effectively turn it into a long run workout. You're practicing surging on really tired legs, and I think that's such a beneficial thing to do. It's really worked for me to get my times down to where I'm at. And obviously, I will continue to do things like that moving forward. I think from a race situation, when you get to that point where you're really starting to race and you're really kind of getting into that competitive groove, it's important to learn when to push and when not to push. Obviously, that's something that I'm still learning. I'm sure all runners will openly admit that they still learn. But it just teaches your body to speed up and slow down. But when you speed up and you go back to slow down, not to then kind of just fatigue and fall off the wagon, but to have that ability to speed up and slow down again and again and again. I think it's such a useful thing to do and a great tool for the mindset as well. So that, guys, is my third thing. So there we go, guys. I hope you enjoyed this week's marathon workout focus. If you did, of course, please do consider giving the video a like, share it with your friends, and of course, please do not forget to subscribe to the channel for weekly running content, and I will see you next time. Until then.